Hey, what's going on, guys? Dropship Tyler here, and sorry for anybody that was just in the last live. Again, I had some technical difficulties, so I had to restart. But basically, what I wanted to get on here and talk about live and then maybe answer some questions was manual dropshipping versus using software, and why I'm excited and going to do both in 2019. So for those of you guys that don't know, I currently have a $0 investment eBay store that I created. That store has now made me over $300, putting in very little effort into it, to be honest. I basically just done, the bare minimum. So if somebody who actually was motivated to grow it, and I am motivated to grow it now, because I see the potential with it and everything, I'm going to be growing that store. And again, I've made $300 pretty much putting in a very minimal work into that store. And I'm also going to be focusing on the SaleFreak software still, because the two methods are completely different. And I have two stores that are SaleFreaks, and I have one that is manually dropshipped with optimized items from Walmart. So you guys probably ask, what are optimized items nowadays? Because I get this question a lot, where people ask me, is it worth it optimizing items anymore? Because they're a little confused by the fact, in the past I've said, if you're going to use the SaleFreak software, I use the title that Amazon uses, which is true. And the way that I optimize the listings that I put up, and hundreds at a time, the way I do that is by using the SaleFreaks locator or using Chili Hunter, and sniping titles that way quickly. But the locator, what it does is it lets you know if you're going to be the lowest price on eBay. So that's how, I say I bulk optimize my listings, or I do like an optimized bulk method for that strategy. And for an optimized strategy now in 2019, with the way that eBay is, it's still important, if you have a small store, to have those good titles. And one of the most important things too nowadays, if you are optimizing your listings fully, you're actually, and you're sniping from other sellers and all of that. One of the big things that I've noticed that a lot of these sellers that are doing, that have like very high sell-through rates and very few listings. I saw one guy who had 300 listings doing 80 sales a day with decent margins, and his store was completely manual. I actually sniped an item from him and sold it 15 times in 3 days. So what I actually did when I sniped that listing was I went to his store, clicked completed, found all the listings that I've actually had a sale, found a few that had very high margins. All I did was I took one, because I don't want somebody, basically right now with how small my store is, I don't want somebody coming in and searching one of their items and then finding me and realizing that I'm taking a bunch of their items. So I just took this one, and I realized that he changed a lot to the item specifics. He made his own unique MPN, manufacturer product number. So he made his own unique MPN, as well as had the does not apply for the UPC code, so that it wouldn't be thrown in with a bunch of other listings. So that was one thing that kept him apart. He had a very good title, very optimized title, a lot of good keywords, all that. I think titles are less important if your listing is going to be thrown into the catalog and you're not going to do anything with the item specifics and all of that. At that point, it's more just about price point, in my opinion, and being one of the lower priced on eBay. But the reason that I like the manual method, and also, there's the theory out there that people are selling people programs on now, is the fact that, and it could be true, it just, no one's ever said it out there, but if you guys are not aware of what the eBay API is, it's the application programs interfaces, I believe is what it stands for, something like that. And basically what the API is it's a way for all of these softwares that you attach to your eBay accounts to communicate with eBay. And if you look at the application or the API user agreement, I'm going to drop a link in the description below, but you can search right now just eBay API. And actually, I want to go ahead and put this in the chat so you guys can follow along with me that are here now and go over it. So let me show you guys this. And I don't want anyone to freak out, and I don't want anybody to think that using software is, you're not going to be able to make money, because I know for a fact that I make money still using SaleFreaks. I know for a fact that there's 30 plus people that I talk to personally on a daily basis that make money from SaleFreaks. I'm sure there's a lot more than that, but I can't talk to everyone on a daily basis. So, yeah, so check out that document. I want everybody that's in the chat, open that API document and go down to 9.7. I believe it's on page 6. And this is open information that's out there for everybody. So I want to go ahead and read this to you guys, and hopefully you're all there with me. But if you look at section 9, it says, restricted activities, notwithstanding any rights expressly granted under these terms, you may not use or access, nor facilitate or enable others to use or access eBay services, including the developer tools, in any way which may directly or indirectly undermine eBay's business interest without eBay's prior written consent. For example, you will not facilitate or enable others to. So this is why SKUGrid got banned, and I think the DS Genie reprice tracker, I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that the reason that everyone who had API issues with that tracker as well, and there's another one out there, I can't remember the name of the software, but there was another one out there, and they all were not able to do this anymore because they didn't get the rights granted to them by eBay. So softwares like SaleFreaks, like DSM Tool, all of that, eBay knows that they're using their API for this, and that's why eBay hasn't banned them, and that's why they don't have any issues with eBay actually. They don't have any like interaction issues or eBay cutting their API off or anything like that. What's crazy is these sites make so many API calls. And eBay obviously knows about this because they're using millions and millions and millions of API calls on a daily basis. And if you look at 9.7, this is under restricted activities. It says use eBay's services to promote or engage in seller arbitrage. For example, automatically repricing eBay listings in response to price changes on competitor sites, automatically ordering sold items from competitor sites, and posting tracking information to eBay when items purchased from competitor sites are shipped. So not only is it repricers, not only is it automatic orders, but it's also tracking upload if you're using the API. So if you have, I guess, what this is saying is a software like TrackerBot. But all of these softwares that are using the eBay API that aren't banned, eBay knows about this. eBay knows that these softwares are doing seller arbitrage. There's no way that they could access the API now without them knowing, without being at risk of eBay shutting them down. So, yes, this does say restricted activities, but it says that they have to be granted under these, eBay has to grant them permission, basically, is what I'm getting from this. So that's why these softwares are fine that are using the API. The problem with SKUGrid, I believe, and now SKUGrid is great for a manual store, so that's awesome. If you don't want to attach any software or anything like that, SKUGrid is the best option because you can download a file and then use the file exchange to upload the information into the eBay account. So the people out there that are telling you that they know why eBay accounts are being flagged and making you pay for it, they're using this 9.7 as the reason. So they're basically saying that any program that reprices, any program that automatically orders, or any program that uploads tracking into eBay through the API, that's what's going to get your account flagged and then your account throttled. So yes, these accounts are, Paul Jacobs, he says new subscriber here. Damn it, Paul, you distracted me. All right, so yes, my accounts are flagged. I know for a fact they are, because the way you can tell, obviously, you know, the OGs, the people who were doing this back in 2017, and then you know, in April of 2018, obviously there was a big drop in April 2018. All of a sudden, unexpectedly, April 20th, and it was really an interesting time. Everyone saw a drop, and now in November, there was a bunch of new people that came out November 1st, and were like, oh, my sales dropped. But really, it was the promoted listings. So their promoted listings stopped working, and you know, that's kind of what is an indicator now. If your promoted listings isn't working and you're not getting regular impressions on a daily basis, you're flagged as a dropshipper. Whether, you know, it was because you use software or not or whatever, you're flagged. So I just want to get that out there, and I'm flagged. 2 of my accounts are flagged, and then I have a manual store that's not flagged. So if that's what's causing this, I'm not saying one way or the other, all right? I'm talking pure theory here. And for those of you guys that don't know what the definition of a theory is, it's something that, you know, hasn't been proven wrong yet. So it's a theory, okay? So no one's been able to prove that manual drop, that, you know, no one's been able to prove that you can get, or not anyone I've talked to, that you'll get flagged if you don't use software still. I haven't seen anybody get flagged based on like item locations or anything like that. But if you have, I want to talk to you. I want to learn as much about this as I can, because I'm just as interested in solving this problem as you guys are. And that's why I'm excited about, you know, manual dropshipping in 2019. So 6K Spray says, what's your profit like on your flagged account? To be honest, I mean, on my flagged account, I made between $3,500 and $4,000 last month, which is one of, you know, it's not that great, to be honest, on eBay for myself. So that's the reason that I'm really excited about. But the thing is, with that account, I don't put that much work into it, because I don't do auto ordering, and I don't do, you know, I don't even like list products on that account. The Sale Freak software does it for me. So it's not like that big of a deal to me that they're flagged and that I'm only making, you know, $3,500 to $4,000. I can grow it. I know somebody making over $10,000 a month, but I'm gonna keep those accounts going the way they are. And yeah, exactly. Kay's Working at Home says, yes, you can make profit on a flagged account. It's just way harder than it used to be. I mean, guys, I'm somebody who literally used to make over $10,000 a month on eBay. And, you know, it hurts probably me and, you know, guys that were on the come up, just absolutely crushing it. It hurt us the most, because, I mean, I quit my job. I know some other people that quit their job. Ecom Tom, that's another guy who quit his job. And then all of a sudden, boom, sales drop, and it's like, wow, okay, yeah, what happened? So, but it's interesting to me, the manual store, how well that's actually going now. I'm really excited about it, and it's been almost 2 months now, maybe a little over. October 26th was when I made that first sale in that manual store. So yeah, when was that? It has been 2 months. It's been over 2 months. Video feed dropped. Let me check that out, guys. Could you guys still hear me, or was it just frozen? And it's probably crooked now too at this point. All right. Just video. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so basically what I do for my manual dropshipping store, I'll tell you guys this. I use a site called SKUGrid. I don't have an affiliate link or anything in the whatever. So just go directly to SKUgrid.com. And you actually have to learn either how to use their Chrome extension in order to automatically in order to automatically get the Chrome extension to take the file and upload it into the file exchange for you. It can do that. I don't know how often it actually does it. Or the other option is, because you can't do variation listings that way, the other option is to download the file and then upload it into the actual file exchange itself. And then you can have variations, because what you can actually do, and I can show you guys on a video soon, but what you can actually do is create a database of your listings for the manual listings, and have like the item number, and then like whatever the variation is, if it's black, have like the item number and then B, all right? And so when you upload into SKUgrid, you're gonna upload that item as an individual item, as the item number and the letter B. And in that case, SKUgrid's not gonna ever be able to manually or to automatically reprice it through the Chrome extension. But what happens is you download it and you have your database of items, and you use a VLOOKUP to find the price on the SKUgrid chart, or the SKUgrid CSV file, and you use a VLOOKUP for that, you know, that unique ID that you created for that one variation, and then already have like the file ready to just pull and upload into the file exchange with that VLOOKUP price. And I can show you guys how to do that in a video, that's no problem. But that way I'm actually able to do variations and actually still be able to reprice those through the file exchange. So that's something that I'm really excited about in 2019. But again, guys, the manual dropshipping blueprint, the automated dropshipping blueprint, it still works. No, I don't have a manual dropshipping blueprint. But the automated dropshipping blueprint, it still works. I'm not saying it doesn't, okay? That's where people are going to be confused, and they're going to be like, oh, I want a refund because it doesn't work. It still works. But yes, you are going to have to work hard. Not as hard as a manual store, because everything's manual, but you're still going to have to work hard, and you're going to have to do things correctly. That's all I'm saying. So, and that course teaches you how to do that. But I want everybody who's watching this to actually start creating a manual store. All right? Have your store with your software from whatever source you want, all that. Create another store, start going manual. There's no cost to you. You learn a ton about eBay because you're in there every single day. And when you're in there every single day taking care of these issues manually, you know, not only are you building a store for the future that may hold because you're not going to get flagged, but you're also going to learn a lot about eBay, because when you get lazy and complacent using software and, you know, just easily clicking buttons all day and, you know, getting products in there and not really having to do anything, you don't learn as much about yourself or your store. And my buddy, it's his Facebook, his YouTube name is Success with Sully. He doesn't have any videos yet, but he's one of the guys that I talk to now about manual dropshipping. And he actually expressed in the chat on one of these videos, he was basically saying, you know, you learn a lot more about your store, you know what your best-selling items are, all of that if you do manual. And a lot of your items, people worry about out of stocks and things like that. Yes, I've had to deal with out of stocks on my manual store. I have 4 items that were purchased on December 27th, I believe, that I'm having to deal with now because all 4 of those were out of stock. So it happens. It's part of the game. You have to be able to, you know, counter those things that are going to stop you, or not even stop you, just little roadblocks. So that's one of the big things that, yeah, I try to preach to you guys. So I have a manual store and just lost $4 on an item that was repriced. Bobby, that's gonna happen. That's part of the manual store. But I promise you, I've had a few losses too on some of my items. But yeah, one thing with the manual stores, because you're trying to disassociate them with other people's listings within the eBay catalog, which is why you use a unique UPC or does not apply. Use a unique MPN. You know, instead of the brand name of the item, do like, if it's like mainstays, use like M stays or main S or just something like that, right? Like just something to kind of differentiate it, but also, you know, it's still the brand. One thing I will say that I really, really like about manual dropshipping, or if you're going to do manual dropshipping, stick to the store brands, the store private label brands. So if you're going to be doing dropshipping from Walmart, there's Your Zone, there's Walmart, or Mainstays, Hyper Tough, Better Homes and Garden. All those are Walmart exclusive private label brands. So if other dropshippers are using those products, then you know they're dropshippers on eBay. Like if they have those products listed, they're dropshippers. The only way that somebody would be able to get those items from Walmart is either order them from Walmart.com and have them to their house and then ship them out, which would be the dumbest thing ever in my opinion. Or if you see them as FBA on Amazon, those are actually people who are doing retail arbitrage. So they might be buying like some low cost items from Walmart in bulk and shipping them into FBA, because otherwise if people were to shop online and on Walmart, you know, they want a $3 item on Walmart.com, they've got to pay $5.99 shipping. So what those people do is they'll look at the people that are drop shipping on Amazon, and they'll just piggyback off their listing. They'll go into the store, buy a bunch of that item, and ship it into Amazon. And because they don't have to pay that $5.99 shipping, the person can get it cheaper from Amazon Prime with that FBA. So every single item that is private labeled on Walmart is going to be sourced from Walmart at some point. The Home Depot one is HDX. There's a ton of HDX items. Ryobi is exclusive with Home Depot. If y'all didn't know that, Ryobi has an exclusive contract with Home Depot. So any Ryobi product has been through a Home Depot store or ordered through a Home Depot manager at some point. Even the ones that are on Amazon as FBA. The next one, Lowe's. They have like Blue Hawk. What is their freaking? I haven't used Lowe's in forever, but they've got a tool brand and, you know, a garden brand and all that. But yeah, you can just go to featured brands Lowe's. I'm curious myself right now on Harbor Breeze. That's a Cobalt. Cobalt is the Lowe's tool brand. Garden Treasures, Allen Roth. Those are all Lowe's brands. So just go and you're not going to have issues, in my opinion. I never have, and if you guys have, I would love to hear it. You're not going to have issues with Vero if you use those big box private label brands. At least from my experience. I can't say that's 100%, but I can say 99.9% that if you use the big box brands, the private label brands that are all, you know, have to be sourced from those stores themselves, then you're gonna be fine with Vero. So yeah, Devin Scott knows. Devin Scott must be a Lowe's dropshipper or shop at Lowe's because he said Cobalt. So Brian Hernick says, so for manual stores we don't use UPC, NPN, etc. I'm saying I don't, and I'm saying it's working well, and I'm saying if you have questions about what works and does not work, find other stores that you think are manually dropshipping and look at those stores and see what they're doing with their listings. The best way that you can get better at dropshipping is by studying other dropshippers. Don't just watch YouTube, okay? I mean, yes, I know